Today I'm going to be doing a get rid with me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me, trying new products once again. I literally just did one of these and I feel like there's just so much new makeup coming out in the summertime. It's getting to be a little overwhelming, but there's so much to test out again, and I will be wearing the Colourpop foundation in today's video again, kind of sharing like a few little updates here and there. So with all that said, I actually do have errands to run today, so let's get ready. For my primer, I'm going to use the Mercier Foundation Primer Protect with SPF 30. I haven't tried this particular one. I don't know if this is brand new, but Mercier used to be the primers of all primers before primers were even a thing. When I worked at Macy's Impulse, I used to sell Mercier, and these primers were poppin'. It's been quite a while. That is way too much, Jessica. That is way too much. I will say this primer feels so good on the skin, like plump, smooth, hydrated, has a little bit of like a tackiness to it. Like I know my makeup's gonna look so pretty on top of this, and it has SPF 30 in it, which is perfect for the daytime. They do have ones without SPF for, you know, the nighttime. For my foundation, I'm going to be using the Colourpop No Filter Foundation in the shade Light 50. The shade has been working out quite well for me. I'm going to use that on my Morphe Y7 brush. I really like this brush a lot. I really like this foundation. So when I did my review on it, at the end of the day, I noticed that there was a lot of fading like around the nose area, and it kind of goes into these smile lines a little bit, but the way I've been wearing it lately, I've actually been wearing this foundation every day since. Foundation has quite a bit of coverage and you do not need a lot of this. So I like to wear it really buffed out on the skin and very lightly. I don't go too heavy-handed with this foundation. I go in with like one light layer and I make sure to really buff it into my skin. I just find that wearing it lightly gives a more natural finish, and you don't get a lot of fading, caking, or creasing at the end of the night, as opposed to, you know, putting on too much. So that's definitely how I've been loving wearing it. I think it just looks so pretty during the day. Like I've really been enjoying this foundation a lot. I don't remember which age it was that I realized that I developed so much darkness around my eyes. For my concealer, I'm going to be using the new Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer with super coverage. It's for concealing, contouring, highlighting, and retouching, which is awesome. Like this thing is huenormous. That's not a word. But it's 0.50 fluid ounces, which is literally half of a foundation. This thing is humongous. Like this is large and in charge, and the applicator is this ginormous wand. I used this yesterday and I actually really liked it, so I'm gonna test it out again today. I chose to use the shade Almond and it seemed to work quite well for me. I'm gonna apply a little bit of this underneath my eyes, anywhere that I need some concealing. Honestly, with this Colourpop foundation, I don't even need much concealing on my face because it did a really good job already. I'm gonna blend out the concealer on my face with my brush, and then I'm gonna go in with a sponge for underneath my eyes. Since this concealer is a sculpting and also contouring concealer, I'm gonna take the shade Honey and I'm going to cream contour. If you know me, you know I don't really cream contour because I'm afraid of it, frankly, and it's very time consuming as well. I feel like I put on way too much. I've already failed. I feel like bronzers, like powder bronzers and stuff, do the job just as well. Oh man, I put on way too much. I will say though, this blended out beautifully, has great pigmentation and looks super smooth on the skin. Everything just looks so flawless and smooth. Like the foundation primer, the foundation, the concealer, everything is just working like magic together. I'm so happy. I almost just want to leave it, but I'm going to set it because I can't not set it. It's just, I just can't do that. I'm going to use the Colourpop No Filter Loose Setting Powder in Translucent to set my face. My bronzer, I'm going to be trying out the MAC and Patrick Starrr Bronzing Powder in Give Me Life. This is part of their new summer collection. I think this is like the third collab they've done together, which is awesome. Ooh, this is looking a little dark. Just a little bit. I'm going to go in with one of my favorite bronzing brushes. This is from Zoeva. It's the Luxe Sheer Cheek 127. This brush is amazing. I wish I had more of them, so when one gets dirty, I can use the next one. Ooh, actually, if you go really light-handed and just build it up, this is a beautiful color. Like, it's really summery bronze. It's not as like, I don't know, I was kind of like afraid of it, but the tone is really pretty. I thought it was going to be a little bit too like orangey red. I've also been using the heck out of the other MAC bronzer, the one that came out with the Mirage Noir collection. Like, I really like that one as well. I cannot even express to you guys how much I'm freaking loving my complexion right now. The products are just working so beautifully. I look flawless. Like, those bronzy colors, the fact that I cream contoured and everything like that, like, it just, I look healthy. My skin has beautiful dimension to it. It's super smooth and flawless. Like, I don't see this every day. Let's just put it that way. For my blush, I'm going to go into this palette from Pixi Beauty and Chloe Morello. This is called the Romantic Radiance palette, and it's kind of like a universal palette. You have blushes, eyeshadows, you can use them as highlighters, you can use those as brow products. You can do a lot with this. I think she kind of designed this whole thing to be very soft, very ethereal, bridal, and I really like that. I'm going to take, I think, this blush right here, and I'm going to pop that onto my cheeks. The shade is called Promise, and it's a really soft peachy shade. Ooh, that goes on so nicely, and I think this color is working with like my bronzy look today. I really like this. For my brows today, I'm going to be using quite an interesting product. I haven't tested this out before. This is from the brand Forever Magic Cosmetics Majestic Angled and Spoolie Brush in one included double shade Seductive eyebrow gel. I haven't really used like a pomade product in a really long time, and frankly I'm a little bit terrified that I'm gonna go overboard today, so hopefully I don't. This product is cruelty free and vegan, and it has no parabens, mineral oils, phthalates, triglycerin, or sodium lauryl sulfates. That sounds great. I really like this packaging too. It's really cute. So we have the little brush in here. Ooh, pink and rose gold, love. And then we have the little gel pot inside. I believe the shade I have is Seductive. This is what it looks like inside. This shade is going to be a little bit too dark for me, so I think I'm going to focus mainly on this lighter color and try not to go heavy-handed. I'm just going to brush out my brow hairs really quickly. You guys, I don't know why, but lately, I don't know if you guys see it, it looks like there's kind of like a bald spot like right in there. I don't know where that came from, when that happened, but I've been noticing that recently. Like, look at that. Are my eyebrows balding? With the little angled side, I'm gonna go into the lighter shade. Oh man, I'm so nervous. I haven't used pomades forever. I stopped using pomades because I always go a little heavy-handed. I'm gonna use the lid to kind of take some product off so I don't go crazy. I'm gonna focus most of the product kind of on the tail of the eyebrow because I like it to go from almost no product to more of like a defined end. I think that looks the best. I haven't gone in to get any more product. I have literally been using that tiny amount. Like, I even took off so much product, and my whole brow is filled in, and I think it looks really pretty. It was super easy. It's not like a cream that's like incredibly creamy where it's just slipping and sliding, but it also has the perfect amount of pigment to it. It's just really easy to use, and I love that a lot. After you fill in your brows with a pomade, you can go ahead and like brush a spoolie through it just to give it a more natural look. Kind of disperses the product through the brows. I think that looks really good, and from like up close you can still see all my brow hairs. Like, it doesn't look too like artificial looking. I went back in to get whatever was left on the lid to do my other brow, and it's already dried down. Like, that's not going anywhere, so you do want to work a little bit quickly. And yeah, these brows are going to probably last like a few days on my face. I just read the box and it says long-lasting, water-resistant, and smudge-free. Awesome. For my highlighter today, I'm going to be using the Pixi Highlight Duos. I have the shade Subtle Sunrise. Honestly, you guys, I have been freaking obsessed with these. They're so blinding. I cannot even explain to you. Like, the formula on these are like really silky and creamy. Oh, I don't even know, but I know I really like these highlighters. I've been using them a lot. Sometimes I just take one, sometimes I mix the two. I also have one in the shade Delicate Dew that I always go to, so I don't know. I just really think these are amazing. I mean, like, come on. Come on. Look at this glow and tell me that's not beautiful. Like, it doesn't have any like chunky, glittery, sparkly shimmer flecks in it. It's just kind of like a gorgeous, reflective highlight. I'm into it. Face is done. Now I'm going to move on to the eyes, and today I'm going to be testing out the Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette. I'm really excited about this eyeshadow palette. I haven't swatched it yet, but the shades inside are gorgeous. First of all, this is the outer packaging. It's kind of like this really cool like plastic, and it does like bend all the way back, which I really love. It has a huge mirror inside. Let me open it up and not blind you guys. Those are the shades. This is what the inside of the palette looks like. I really love the shades a lot. Like, it really speaks to me. You have really fun colors. You can play around with like blues and purples, really warm orangey cranberries, or you can do something pretty neutral and simple. There's a lot. Now, looking at this palette, I did kind of like reminded me of something. Let me show you. This is the Urban Decay palette. This is the Colourpop Shayla palette. They are so similar. The Urban Decay palette definitely looks like the bigger, more extended sister of this palette, but generally just looking at them, they have the same, like similar color story. They have those really warm tone berry cranberry colors, as well as like blues and greens and neutral shades. So I don't know, like I think these look so similar. I am, however, still going to go into this palette and create an eye look. I'm starting off with this matte nude shade in the color Breakaway, and this is gonna go underneath the brow bone per usual. Okay, so I thought this shade was a matte, but it actually has a sheen to it. It's kind of like a satiny shimmer, but no problem. It still looks really pretty underneath the brow bone, but definitely not a matte. With my Mysterious Morphe brush, I'm gonna go into this shade right here. It's called Riff. It's a warm caramel matte brown shade. It does have a little bit of kickback to it, so I'm going to be really careful applying that to my eyes. I'm going to stick this into my crease for my first transition shade. I don't really know what look I'm going for today. I do have errands to run, and it is during the day. Everything is blending out really nicely. Like these shadows, I'm having no problems with them whatsoever. Pigmentation is really nice. I'm going to take this shade right here. It's called Still Shot. It's a very interesting corally pinky peach shade. I don't know what to call that, but I'm gonna run this into my crease just to kind of change the tone a little, add a little bit of that pinkiness. I like that. I literally had my battery die and my card get full all at the same time. I'm gonna go into this shade right here. It's called Good As Gone. Oh my god, that is beyond pigmented. Holy moly. Okay, wow. Need to dust that off quite a bit. That was a lot of pigment. I'm gonna take this on the outer parts of my eyes and just slowly build it up. I'm gonna use the brush I used for my transition colors to kind of help blend that shade into my crease a little bit better. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a halo look today, so I'm gonna take that same brown and pop that on the inner parts of my eyes, leaving this area kind of like a spotlight on the lid. And once again, going back to the brush I used for my crease, just blending that brown out a little bit more. I'm gonna go to the shade right here. It's called Hell Ride, and I'm gonna take a really small amount of that, and I'm gonna run this a little bit on top of the brown that we just put, just to kind of change like the tones a little. Like I said, I don't really know what I'm going for, but I just kind of want to test out as many colors as I possibly can. That actually looks really pretty. I'm gonna take the shade called Jet, which is a black, but I feel like it's like a satiny black. It's not completely matte. I'm gonna take that on a small shader brush, and I'm going to deepen up the crease only on the outer part. I don't want to make this inside part way too dark, because at that point it just kind of looks a little bit crazy like on me. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this black shade, and I'm going to set it down on the outer part of my eye, just like that. And I'm gonna go into it with my Mysterious Morphe blending brush and just kind of blend out the edges a little. So for the color I'm gonna put on my lids, I definitely want to keep it bright so it kind of comes out of that darkness and just has like a nice contrast to it. I'm looking at this shade right here. It's called Stranded. It's a beautiful gold shade. I think I'm like leaning towards that a little bit more. These greens and blues are calling my name, but I feel like I've already done that a few times. So I think I'm gonna go into this gold. I think it's been a while since I put gold on my eyes, and I'm just going to apply this to the center of my lids. Ooh, my brush is dry also. I have not wet my brush at all. This is a really nice color. I'm gonna go into another brush and just gently blend the edges into each other so we have like more of a seamless look going on. You don't want to pack it too much on top of the dark because you still want to get like the halo effect. You just kind of want to spotlight the center. For my lower lash line, I'm going to take this shade right here. It's called Double Life. It's this beautiful bronzy coppery metallic shade, and I'm going to take that on a small shader brush and just kind of like smudge that underneath my lower lash line. That's a really interesting color because it's kind of going on black, and then you see a little bit of like that copper shimmer in it. Like that's what it looks like on the finger, and then when you kind of blend it, it has like black edges to it. Do you see what I mean? That is very interesting. Okay, I was not expecting it to look like that, but we're gonna go with the flow, I guess. I'm gonna take this shade, it's called Blaze, and I'm going to place that on the inner corners of my eyes. This color has a really interesting like pink shift to it, so it's not just like a goldy color. Definitely has like a pink shimmer. I think I'm set with the eyeshadows. Of course, I didn't get to use like every shade in here. It's a little bit much to use in one sitting, but I really do like the look that I came up with. It's like really pretty, it's soft, but yet it still makes a statement. I don't think I'm gonna wear a liner. I think I'm gonna throw on some mascara and call it a day. So for my mascara, I'm gonna be testing out the Rimmel London Wonderfully Real Mascara. I don't know how new this is exactly, but it's new to me and I've never tried it before. I do really like the packaging. Let's take a look at the wand. Oh, that's an interesting wand. I'm not so much a fan of like acrylic-y, plasticky ones. The only one that I really like is the Bad Gal Bang Mascara from Benefit. So I don't know, maybe this is very similar. Who knows? Let's give it a try. That's kind of like one coat of the mascara, which I don't think is bad at all. It definitely coats all your lashes. It's super easy to get into like the little inner corners and like to coat all those like tiny little baby hairs, but that's not bad for one coat. I'm gonna go ahead and apply a second layer. So with the second layer, I could tell that they're kind of like sticking together, so I have like less eyelashes. It's not as like lashy, if you know what I mean. So you do want to be careful and not apply too much, or else you're just gonna have like 3 lashes. I definitely like this mascara a lot more with like one coat. It just makes your lashes just look more separated and really pretty. When you kind of apply too much, it kind of clumps them together a little. So I also really like this because it gets in the crevices really nicely, like the little lashes in there. Not a lot of my mascaras do that, so this is going to be something good to use with other mascaras. I do that a lot. I use my Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara over my more like voluminous mascaras just to kind of coat all those like tiny hairs that didn't get coated. Those are some bottom lashes. Like I actually really like this mascara a lot. It's very rare that I'm finding mascaras that I really like, and when I find something I really like, I stick to it for a while, and I have a feeling I'm gonna be using this quite a bit. Like look how pretty that is. Those bottom lashes, like this is gonna be really nice for bottom lashes as well. So if you're somebody who wears false lashes but still likes the bottom lash mascara, this is gonna be really good. I think the look is complete. And of course, to finish off the look, we have lips, and I really want to test out the new M Cosmetics True Gloss. Like this packaging is so pretty, like love. I have the shade Secret Blush. I feel like that would go really nicely with the look. I don't just look like a Jess shade, so I picked this one out. It is a gloss. Ooh, oh. Smells good. Kind of smells like cake, but it's not like super overpowering. Let's give it a little swatch. Oh wow, that's really pretty. That's very interesting. So it looks like it's going to be like a very sheer balmy gloss, but at the same time it has this really creamy soft pigment to it. Like I can't explain it. Like, oh, that feels so okay. This is very interesting, so I'm very excited to put this on my lips. First of all, this color, super cute. I really like this a lot. Second, I feel like I almost have nothing on my lips. I don't know how to explain this. It's like incredibly lightweight, very comfy, not sticky at all. It has a little gloss sheen to it. Pigmentation is really nice, like it's not super overpowering. Of course, I swatch like a lighter shade, but they're definitely like, you can wear them sheer or you can like build it to have a little bit of color. I'm sure you guys can see that my lips have a little soft pink to them, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain this. I feel like I don't really have a gloss that looks like this. Long story short, it looks absolutely beautiful. I am so happy with the way everything came out. I can't stop looking at my skin. It looks freaking gorgeous. I don't think I have anything negative to say about anything I've tried today, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be incorporating most of these products in my daily routine. I have been using some of these products for the past couple days, and I think this primer definitely contributed to the fact that my skin looks bomb, so I will 100% be using this. The new Too Faced concealer, I absolutely love. I know it's my second time using it, but I already know like it's a good concealer. I've been really loving the Colourpop foundation, especially since I've been using it a little bit more light-handed. It's been looking so much better, more natural. It doesn't look heavy on the skin at all. So the coverage is still there. You still get full coverage, but I just go really light-handed. Bronzer, blush, highlight, loving. The highlighters I've actually been using for the past couple days, and I've been really liking those a lot. But the new bronzer and blush I tried today, thumbs up. Incorporating that in my daily routine. The brows, I actually ended up really liking these a lot. They look really nice. Once like my whole makeup is done, they don't look like as crazy, and I'm a fan. Like these are gonna last, they're not gonna rub off, and it wasn't as intense as I thought it was gonna be. Just be very light-handed. The lips, I'm still having a hard time describing it, so I'm just gonna read what M Cosmetics actually describes it as. It's a gel-based gloss with a lacquer-like shine, plumps and drenches lips in high-impact color while adding unprecedented moisture and softness. Zero stickiness, zero discomfort. There you go. The Urban Decay eyeshadow palette. I think it's a great palette. It has beautiful shades. It's not like your typical just warm palette. You have pops of colors in there that are also really easy to wear. They're not super intimidating colors, and I feel like you can incorporate that in your look very easily. Just looking at it, amazing palette, beautiful. If you have no shades like this in your collection, definitely pick it up because the pigmentation is bomb. They blend out beautifully. It's a great palette, but I feel like if you also have the Colourpop Shayla palette, they're really similar in themes and like color story. So definitely use your opinion on that. Like, I mean, if you don't have that palette and you don't have anything like this in your collection, I would definitely say pick it up. Why not? It's beautiful. It has so many pretty colors. With all that said, I'm really happy with the way everything turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Let me know what you guys think of these products in the comments down below. Of course, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, mesijesibeauty, Snapchat, JesiJet, and Instagram, Makeup by Jesi. Also, if you have not subscribed to my channel already, please do so before you go. I would appreciate it so very much. Also, if you want to be notified every time I post a video, definitely click the little bell so you guys are notified. Because, you know, I have to say that now, fortunately. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!